How long does it take to heal anxiety? Literally, as an anxiety coach, this would be the number one question I get asked every single day. No joke, right? So I thought, okay, let me really think about this and try and give a real answer without false promises, without marketing tactics that I know other creators use, like, oh, heal anxiety in 5 days or whatever it is. Because this really hits home for me because my anxiety, I had it for 10 years. So I really did ask myself this question over and over again. And if I had something like this in my journey, it would have helped me massively in perspective shifting. So I hope it'll be the same for you guys with the bad mornings, bad days of symptoms, bad nights of sleep, whatever it may be. So I just want to get into what I'm going to even talk about today. The first thing, the wrong question. Why this question is actually the wrong question to ask yourself and why it's actually blocking you from healing. The second thing I'm going to talk about is why healing isn't linear, right? Why isn't it, better slowly instead of no setbacks? The third thing I'm going to talk about is what actually can speed up the journey of you being healed. The fourth thing I'm going to talk about is what actually slows it down. The fifth thing I'm going to talk about is what real progress actually looks like. And the sixth thing I'm going to talk about is just a final reminder that you can take with you guys today. So let's talk about the number one thing. Why is this a wrong question to ask? Which is, how long will it take? Here's what to actually ask yourself instead. Am I showing up daily? Does that mean, am I actually doing the actions that would take me towards being fully healed? Like, for example, right? Let's say I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to lose 50 pounds. Instead of me obsessing every single day, am I actually going to lose this weight? Am I going to be able to, look good shirtless at the beach? Am I going to actually look good in those pictures on my wedding, on that holiday, on that party, right? Instead of me always obsessing over that, like, okay, when am I actually going to lose this weight? That isn't helping me lose weight. If I then instead asked, am I, eating healthy on a daily basis, 3 meals a day? Am I exercising a couple times a week? Am I doing these things consistently? Those are better questions to ask because those things are in your control, right? Is that kind of resonating, guys? Give me a thumbs up if it is. All right. Okay. Now, another thing you can ask is, am I responding or reacting? Right? So whenever you have your anxiety symptoms, when you have the DPDR, when you have the racing thoughts, whenever you have the nausea, the gut issues, the jaw pain, a new symptom, whatever it may be, the DPDR, ask yourself, am I fighting it? Am I reacting to it, even if it's just a little bit, right? Some ways this can look like is if every time you feel a symptom, you are always in a rush to get rid of it. You're just trying your best to get rid of it, solve it, obsess about it, ruminate about it. You avoid doing things like going out because of anxiety. Those are signs that you may be reacting instead of responding. And everybody knows, like, just to blow your mind for a little bit, guess what? You need to learn how to respond to your symptoms before they go away. Because if you keep reacting to them, your brain will continue to feel that it is under danger and it needs to stay in fight or flight or eventually go into freeze, whatever. The third thing, maybe the most important thing, which is, am I avoiding instead of allowing? Right? Which, bleeds into the second point, which is that whenever your symptoms are here or the DPDR is here, it's already here in this moment, maybe this morning, maybe tomorrow. But in the moment you're experiencing it, it is already there. So there's no point fighting it. Really, what you're worried about is the next moment of feeling that symptom. So really learn that, hey, I can let go of what I don't need, that including me actually trying to change the moment. Let it be exactly as it is, because nothing you can do, no screaming, no fighting, no thinking, is going to change this moment. So you may as well just be present for it. And you'll be surprised what your experience can show you if you actually stay present and teach your nervous system how to go out of fight or flight, even if the symptom is there. So you need to learn how to not be in freeze when the DPDR is there, or not be in fight or flight whenever you have your nausea or headaches or the tingliness. Does that kind of make sense, guys? Give me a thumbs up. If it does, give me a thumbs down. If what I'm saying is complete nonsense and you think I should, leave. Hopefully not, right? If you guys all the thumbs up, I might cry today. All right. Anyway, so let's go into the next thing of I'm sure a lot of you know this, but already that healing isn't linear. It isn't kind of like a staircase where you go up one step progressively better. It's like you go up the stairs, you reach the halfway point, you come back downstairs, right? So some days feel worse, some days feel normal, some days you feel like your symptoms are getting better, then you feel like they're getting worse because of one setback and you think, oh, it's another week of it getting worse and you think it's never going to get better. That's normal. It is part of the path, right? Which I'm going to go into this third point here, which is that setbacks are part of the path. For example, let's say I want to walk from where my apartment is to the ne nearest nature point, which is a place called Belvoir Forest. I would have to take a straight and then take a right and then take a left. I could be angry about the fact that I want to take only rights or only lefts, right? And just feel only going that way. When, I have to take the straight, the right, the left. So it's just part of the path. So if I want to get to the destination, which is me being healed, I have to walk that path. And that means signing up for setbacks, right? So this is just to show you that the progress is loops, not a straight line. The sooner you make peace with that, the sooner it stops bothering you. But let it bother you, accept it, and then understand you're not going to change it and accept that you can't control it and just move on. All right? Is this making sense, guys? Are you guys relating to what I'm saying? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions as well, just like raise your hand. At any point throughout today, after finish the point I'm on, I'll answer the question. All right. But at the end of the presentation, it'll be a lot more you guys speaking, just so we can talk about what we've just learned and apply it to what you're going through. Okay? Awesome. Now, if I just go into the next point, which is like everyone wants to know how do I heal faster? The million-dollar question is how can I heal my anxiety symptoms in 7 days, right? And even though it's a million-dollar question, you probably even $1 million wouldn't make that happen, right? So here's what does actually speed it up, which is in your control. You can do something small daily. And the way I figured this out is through prioritization. So it's kind of like, okay, I have all of these 100 tasks on my to-do list, or these things that are in my mind that I'm like, I really need to do. If I were to just do one thing, like just pick one thing out of your to-do list, what would that one thing be? And can I just do that day and then do it tomorrow and then keep doing it? And showing up for myself just for that one thing. Now, here's the thing, it doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be, I have to do, 5 hours of exposure. It could be, I do a 2-minute walk. If like walking is your limitation. If it's Googling, it's like, I'll try and Google, 20 minutes less. If it's consistent on meditation, it's like, okay, I'll try and meditate every other day instead of once a week, right? Just like increments like that based on, what is important right now. The second thing I suggest in order to heal anxiety faster, instead of it feeling like, when is this going to take? It's been months, maybe years. When is it actually going to go away? Even if I feel better a little bit, when am I going to be fully healed? Right? Now, a big part of this is just continuing to let the symptoms be here without fighting it. Right? Like, it's kind of like this. So, if someone is in an argument with you, right? And you hold a grudge towards this person, and this person is, your spouse, your partner, your best friend, your family member, your mom, your dad. You actually fighting the symptom is keeping the grudge. If you keep the grudge at whatever he or she did, right, is that going to fix anything? Is that going to change what's happened? Is that going to further your relationship with this person, assuming it's healthy, right? Is it going to? No. So stop fighting what's happened and just open to it and then move forward from there. So when your symptoms are there, open to them like a hug, like you're welcoming them like a hug of someone you love, not like a runaway, you know. if like someone's chasing you or a dog's chasing you or like, you're getting attacked, right? In fear, open to it like a hug. Like if I was to hug my anxiety symptom, if I was to hug my DPDR, my disconnection, my feeling not real, what would that feel like? Right? Now, a couple habits that help you get here: exercise, meditation, obviously, journaling, and just breathing properly throughout the day. Making sure you're diaphragmatically breathing, breathing through your belly, having good posture, things like that. Now, and the final thing is talking honestly instead of bottling it up. Now, I don't mean venting to your therapist for 4 hours or venting to me or venting to your friend or your partner or your husband or someone at work, right? I mean actually being honest with yourself about it, right? Kind of like, oh, I didn't meditate this week. Or I am ruminating about not having enough sleep or the symptom being here. I am actually, Googling or researching. I am, skipping the gym because I can't be bothered or it makes me more anxious. Or I'm skipping the exposure. Or I'm telling myself, I'm a victim. And, why has this happened to me of all people, right? So we're just talking honestly about, okay, did I actually do the things that are taking me towards healing? And if the answer is no, ask yourself why and solve that problem. Okay? All right, I know this sounds like a harsh truth, guys, but honestly, when you can take a good look in the mirror, you will actually genuinely learn how to celebrate the small wins and actually see yourself heal. And at a faster rate because you're not so obsessed how long it's talking. You lose a perception of time. Even time is relative, right? You go on a roller coaster ride, you think it was 30 seconds if you're having fun. You're having an argument with someone or you're in pain, you feel like every second it is an hour. Time is relative, right? It really is, but because you have anxiety, you're like, I need to get it fixed right away. I need to get it fixed in this minute. I get that. But time is relative. I hope that's interesting, guys. That perspective has always helped me change my look on things when I'm getting impatient. Now, let's talk about what affects you actually healing fast, which is you Googling symptoms, you avoiding your emotions, you wanting to rush the process. So, Googling your symptoms, ChatGPT, Reddit forums, Google, Bing, whatever, right? Researching, is this normal? What is this? Reading about it, watching videos on it, articles on it, all of that comes under, making the process take longer. Avoiding your emotions. So if you have guilt, if you have anger, if you have shame, let yourself feel angry, let yourself feel shame, let yourself feel the emotion as long as it wants to stay here and actually go towards it. Because if you avoid emotions, that means you have an unhealthy nervous system. Because unhealthy nervous systems or dysregulated nervous systems don't feel safe enough to process their emotions, they go into fight or flight. If you do what a person with a regulated nervous system does, which means feeling your emotions truly and just embodying them and letting them pass when they want to, you act like a regulated person and you'll become more like a regulated person because you do the habits that a regulated person does. Does that make sense? Like the person you want to be with no anxiety, healthy sleep, no symptoms, amazing mornings, you have to do the things that they would do so that eventually reality catches up, right? Okay. Wanting to rush the process. So if you think about the intention behind even asking the question, how long is healing going to take, right? The intention is because you want to rush it, you want it done quickly. But if you wanted to rush, it's not going to be the outcome or the lesson you'll learn. And here's what I mean by that, right? So let's say I'm hungry now and I put something in the microwave and I put it for like, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Even though I'm hungry now and I want the food right now, if I take it out of the microwave and I eat it, it's going to taste terrible. It might even be unhealthy. Although you shouldn't really eat microwave food, but that's a conversation for another day, right? So, me trying to rush what needs to happen is not going to change reality. In fact, it's just wasting more of my current time. So, let things take as long as they take. Let the plane ride take as long as the plane ride takes. I promise you will land, right? As long as it's not that Air India flight, um, rest their souls, right? So, don't rush it. Let it take its time. The final thing is skipping days because you don't feel like doing the work. You don't feel like doing the meditation. You don't feel like going for that party. You don't feel like going outside. You don't feel like, going to the gym or, home cooking a meal instead of ordering takeout. You don't feel like doing that, right? And that's fine. And then you fall off and then you rely only on motivation to take action, which we all know doesn't let you achieve consistency. If I only made videos on content, right? If I only wrote and made videos when I felt like it, I would have not grown an audience at all, right? I would have not grown at all. I think right now I'm about like 80,000 on all socials. If I had just made videos when I felt like doing it, I wouldn't have done it. And like, think about this because I documented my entire journey. So I made a video as I was healing as well, right? I've been doing this for years. So, like, there's been times where I haven't been, as motivated. But I did it anyway because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning my story, enjoyed connecting with meeting with you guys. So I stayed consistent. But like, same with anxiety healing. Rely on discipline because the disciplined ones do heal. Ones who rely only on motivation heal like this. Short, intense bursts, and then you never get long-term results, right? Same with investing. If you invested here and there, you would get diminishing returns. If you invested consistently every day for years, you invested in Bitcoin or Microsoft or Apple before they became huge, you would be very rich, right? Okay. Now, the next thing I just want to talk about is what real progress looks like, right? So, one real sign of progress in healing in a good way is that you actually bounce back quicker. It's like, oh, I skipped a meditation. Oh, I feel worse today. Oh, I've had a rough morning. Oh, things didn't go according to plan. But hey, it's okay. You move on from it. You don't obsess about it. You don't ruminate about it. It's like, oh, I had a bad night's sleep. Okay, so what? Let me move on. Even if you had two bad nights sleep or three or four or five, you bounce back quicker, right? Really good sign that you're becoming more resilient. The second thing is you just fear anxiety less. It's like it doesn't bother you so much. So it's kind of like, let's say you're really insecure about your looks. And every time somebody made a comment about your hair or your face or your skin or how tired you look, you would take it really to heart, right? And I'm sure as you grow older, you realize that, hey, looks are a superficial thing. No one's really thinking about you, right? Especially those who are older or have learned this lesson realize like, hey, I don't really care so much. Like I feel good inside and that's all that matters, right? And it just bothers you less because you know your self-worth, right? So you fear anxiety in the same way less. Even if the symptoms happen, even if setbacks happen, you just fear it, resist it. You're like, okay. It's raining today. Okay, cool. It's hail today. Okay, cool. Shout out, Katie. All right. You just fear and get annoyed by it less. The third thing is you're actually living more, checking less. So, for example, for those of you that joined a little while later, Natalie, literally in the community, she's, started her bakery business that's taking off. So is other side hustles. So you're living more instead of actually just anxiety being the main focus of your life. So that's another way you spend more time with family, your friends, your creative projects and your passions and your hobbies, whatever you like to do, right? So you're living, not surviving. Now, the fourth thing is you keep going even on tough days, and this bleeds into discipline. Even though you have hard days, you just see it as part of the process, and you're like, it's okay. Today's a bad day, not a bad life. It's a bad week, not a bad life. All right. Now, I just want to give you guys a final reminder before I go to you guys. So, healing doesn't take time, it takes what you do with your time, which basically means healing doesn't take like, months or years, or a certain amount of days or weeks. It just happens depending on how you spend your current minutes, your yesterday, your last 6 months, your future 6 months. That is what it's gonna dictate what healing does in terms of a timeline or how long it takes. Now, this is off the rip. I'm not claiming anything. I don't have any statistics for this, right? But in terms of a precise answer, if it was really trying to push me, I would say if you're really consistent, in 3 months, you feel genuinely significantly better, where your quality of life has really improved. So, 3 months, in terms of fully healed, when your symptoms fully go, that depends on how much the patterning of stress and resistance and fear is in your body and your nervous system. If you've been fighting your symptoms for years and you've had it for years, but you've been ignoring it, it's gonna probably take longer, right? And that's okay. It just means like if I, gain 10 pounds, it's means I'll have to lose 10 pounds. But if I've gained 100 pounds, it's going to take me longer to lose the weight, but doesn't mean I won't lose the weight. Okay. So it's okay, but just fill your time and attention and focus in things in your control that are going to take you towards healing. And your job isn't supposed to be perfect. It's just to keep showing up every day, even if it's something so small. So even small steps really matter.